There's one thing that most technicians struggle with that stops them from being successful, that stops them from being productive, and if we're not careful, it can impact our entire day, our entire experience if we don't manage this one thing, and that is our attitude. Listen, I'm Derek Rainey, and in this video, I want to share with you 3 things that we need to be mindful of as we work in the industry that we're in. There's 3 things we need to be mindful of that I want to share with you that can greatly impact our attitude. And when we allow these things to impact our attitude, taking us from the positive attitude, mental attitude space to the negative, when we allow that to happen, it can sabotage our entire career. Not just our career, but it also can sabotage our personal life. It can sabotage our work relationships. It can sabotage your relationships when you go home if we don't manage these 3 things that I'm about to share with you. So the first one is this. This is something that we deal with on a daily basis that has a profound impact upon our attitude, how we approach today, how we looking at things, what that experience is like as we going through the day. We just talked about this morning. Someone shared with you. The first one is this. It's something as simple as called flat rate. And I don't have to tell you, we work on a system that is called flat rate. This is how we get paid. And what flat rate simply is, for those of you that may not know, flat rate is simply every job, every line item that we perform on an automobile, that job pays it has an assigned allotment of time in which it should take us to do that job. And if the job pays 2 hours, we need to be able to do that job, perform that task or perform that service 2 hours or less. The problem is not when we perform it less time, when we perform it less, that's winning. The problem is sometimes we feel like the flat rate is not giving the adequate time for the time that's actually required to do the job. And when that happens, we end up losing money because we're putting more time into a particular job that we feel is not paying us what the job actually should be paid. And when we go through those experiences, this starts to mess with us mentally because now it's messing with our income, the amount of money that we're going to make. And we all got, we got a living that we have to maintain. We have bills to pay. We got things happening. We have families. And so the amount of money that we make, it can have an impact on our attitude. So we have to manage that. And especially on this system, when we come in each and every day, we don't even know what we're going to earn on that day. So we're literally approaching our jobs by faith because we really don't know how much we're going to earn on that day. We don't know what business is going to be like on that day. So every day it's a trust that we have to have, a trust in our own ability, but also trust in the business that the company is going to have enough business to be able to sustain my life as a tech and then my coworkers as well. But under this system, another thing we have to learn is that when it's feast time, it's feast time. But when it's famine time, it's famine time. And so we have to become better stewards and managers over our resources when it's feast time, because famine will happen and then we'll go back to feast and then famine will happen. But you'll learn how to manage your resources better and you'll be able to overcome those seasons of drought when they happen. And it will not affect your attitude so badly because you would have been grown as a technician. You would have grown as a person, so now you know how to manage that. The second thing I want to give you is that this is number 1. The second thing I want to give you is we service things and we work on things that, to be honest, is poorly designed. And I oftentimes say, whenever a manufacturer is designing an automobile, I don't know what in the room with the engineers, when they're coming up with the concept, I just believe that whatever manufacturer it is, it could be Nissan, it could be Toyota, it could be Chevrolet, whoever it is, I believe a ASE certified technician need to be sitting at the table so that we can look at some of these concepts that they come in with, because we're the ones that have to service this stuff when it gets to the dealership. We're the ones often having to do the repairs, And some of those repairs can be very difficult, and they can be very time consuming, and they can be very stubborn. And when you're dealing with that consistently on a daily basis, day in, day out, when you're dealing with that, it can begin to mess with your attitude. And it can bring you down. It can change your mood. I don't know. I've been in the shop sometimes. I've seen technicians working on something, and I've seen technicians throw tools across the shop, throw wrenches across the shop, because whatever it is they're working on is so challenging that they get so frustrated with the process that they just snap out and they go to throwing stuff across the shop. No, this is not professional. We understand that there's going to be challenges. There's going to be things that we're going to work on that's going to be difficult, but you don't respond or react by throwing tools across the floor or throwing tools across the shop. And it's really not going to be good if the tools happen to hit someone, because you could hit the wrong person, and then you got a whole nother issue in the shop. And so we understand we work on poorly designed things. We work on things that's a challenge. We work on things that's difficult, but do not let it get in your head. Don't let that impact your mood so much until you're no longer pleasant to be around. Nobody in the shop wants to be around you. Not even your family wants to be around you because of the mood and your disposition when you come into the house. So that is important. And then thirdly, I'm gonna give you this last one. And this is important. This last one is important. Sometimes we work in hostile work environments. And now this is something, especially sometimes when you're dealing with management, and I'm gonna say this, not everybody should be in management. I feel like if you're in management, you have to learn how to be a servant leader. I feel like that's what management is. You have to be a servant first, then leader. And sometimes we work in hostile work environments. You may have coworkers where you have to share the space with that y'all really don't get along for whatever reason. Management may be off, or you may not have a good service manager, or a good general manager, or a good parts manager, or whoever it is you have to work with. I believe to be in those positions, you have to be good with people, and your primary focus should be to be a servant first and then be a leader. But because we have to work in hostile work environments, it challenges us and it messes with our mental attitude. And this is the thing I don't want you to do. I don't want you to have a bad experience at work, and because you're in a hostile work environment, don't let that become the lens through which you picture everything else and the way you look at everything else, even the way you look at life, because of what may be happening. You could be doing the right thing, and you can be exactly where the Lord wants you to be, but you're just in a hostile work environment. And that has to be changed from the top up. And sometimes it also has to be changed from the bottom up. So sometimes it can come from the top down, and sometimes it needs to come from the bottom up. And so these are three things that I want you to be mindful of, be aware of. This is a part of our world. Don't let these things dictate your attitude, but you allow your attitude to dictate how these things are gonna go. So that's it for now. I hope I said something that blessed you. Listen, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and tune in every week. I'm gonna be dropping videos, tips that will help you to develop as a technician. We wanna be well-rounded. Look, I always say, I'll see you when I see you. Bye.